Sam?
Yeah, looks like we've seen that game a few times this season. You must be really, really frustrated to lose that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we have so much promise, so much good, but ultimately sat here with nothing, and that's very, very painful, I think, for the players who have given so much physically in that game. First half was everything that we want to be, and in a sense in these games you have to, or we wanted to be aggressive and we wanted to be front foot, and when you do that you take risks, but those risks were worth it, and you could see it paid off the other end. Second half we still wanted to do that, we still wanted to play the same way, but we just couldn't deliver that in the second half.
What do you, as a manager, when you see someone like Kevin De Bruyne, you look at your bench and then you see someone like Kevin De Bruyne coming off the Manchester City bench, because he's won the game?
Yeah, you just hope he's rusty and he's not up to full speed yet, and then he comes on and delivers that, and you think, no, there's no rustiness there. He's straight in, and it was, his qualities, and you just hope that you can minimise the space for him, take away the opportunities for him to hurt you with his range. I mean, he crosses the ball so well, and for the majority of the half, or when he was on, we dealt with those situations really well. But of course, for his goal, we didn't defend well enough, and then for the assist at the end, that was hugely frustrating, because with just 3 minutes to see out, you thought we were almost there.
I know what you're probably going to say. Does that change anything in terms of the bench again today? You've got more 12, 11 players out, I think, injured. Does that change anything going into the final fortnight of the transfer window?
Not currently, I don't think.
Damien, Craig and George?
Eddie, when you talk about Kevin De Bruyne coming off the bench, when you looked at the City bench and looked at your bench, you've got 10 or 12 players missing, does that just illustrate the gap that you're having to bridge to reach these top sides?
I think what I'd say on our situation is that we love the players that we have. It's just, unfortunately for us, all our attacking players aren't available, as in the attacking players that we're missing. And I think whenever you get that, you're in a difficult situation. If it was spread out more evenly, the injuries, it wouldn't be so defining for us. But I'm in a sort of a difficult position there where I'm thinking, do I bring a defender on, which potentially is sort of used as a negative substitution, and you take off an attacking player, and I don't really want to do that. I was hoping that Miggy and Anthony and Alex could still be a threat in the match, even though they'd given a lot in that first half. And I wanted to keep them on the pitch because of what they delivered for the majority of the game. So I think if we draw the game and we see that last 3 minutes out, it's probably not talked about as much, but unfortunately it's cost us.
On the positive front there, Alex is showing that he's a danger to even the biggest teams around.
Yeah, Alex is an outstanding individual. I mean, his goal today was the highest level. I thought when he had his energy, his overall performance was outstanding. I thought he was a constant menace for them. He showed his ability to run, he showed his ability to link play, he showed his ability to finish. And I'm just disappointed for him that we couldn't get him in more dangerous situations in that second half, because I'm sure he could have made the difference for us.
Greg?
Hi, it's 4th in a row in the Premier League, but that performance in that game feel unrecognisable from the previous 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've not doubted that for a second, that we're still a very, very good team and we're still capable of beating anybody at our best. But December felt very difficult for us. Hopefully, things will change, the dynamic will change for us. We will be able to get players back at some stage, but we're sort of riding that moment where we still don't have our full armoury available to us, and it's a real shame, because I believe the talent in the squad is there.
Dare we say it, if you look at City's bench, you could have done with Kalvin Phillips to bring on to protect your lead.
Yeah, as I said, the disappointing thing for us is we're missing a lot of players from the same position, and that always hurts you. And yes, our midfield and attacking options are limited.
Thanks, Greg. George?
Yeah, it's sort of difficult to talk about positives and encouragement, I guess, but within that first half, maybe after going goal behind and the foul that wasn't given on it, it looked like particularly sort of playing hungry and playing with that swarming sort of mentality. It's the first time we've seen that in the league for a little while.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I thought we responded really well to conceding, which is always very difficult against Manchester City, because they'd started really well. We'd rode our luck a few times, but I think you have to in these types of games. It's never going to be that you keep them totally out of the game. But we were in the game, and I think we were well aware from the moment that I think Sean that scored the offside goal. I thought you could tell that we were going to be a threat in the match. But we just couldn't sustain that in the second half, and that was disappointing. We just, as I say, we lost our attacking impetus in that half.
George. Lee Ryder then, Dominic?
And do you think the crowd could see that the team is fighting for you and for them out there today?
Yeah, and I think that's all the players can do. They've got to show that fight in every match. They're representing an incredible football club and an incredible city. So I've never had that issue or had the feeling that they're not. I think they're a really honest group of players who want to deliver good things for the football club, and when we're at full strength, we're an incredibly talented squad as well. So it was great to see that talent on display today, and a really good attacking performance in the first half.
And Alexander Isak, he's been linked with Arsenal and some of the papers over the last couple of days. He can go on and be a total legend at this club. He was with Alan Shearer yesterday. He's got that real sort of feel about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the goal was very reminiscent of Alan, really, the finish that he delivered. He can go on, I think, to achieve incredible things in his career. I think he's got so much more to offer. He's probably getting back to 100% fit. I wouldn't say he's totally there yet. He's had his own injury troubles this season, but the last two performances and the goals that he scored offers a glimpse, really, of his capabilities, and he is really the all-round striker, in my opinion.
On recruitment, I know you can't say too much, but by the time you play in your next Premier League game, it's going to be pretty much over anyway. Can you genuinely visualise having another player in the dressing room by that point?
I don't know, is the honest answer. I've got no idea as we sit here now. Obviously, it'd be my intention to try, but let's wait and see.
Dominic, Scott and Aaron?
Do you feel your side deserved a point from the game based on the level of performance this year?
Yeah, I felt we did. I don't think it would have been unjust if we had drawn that game for everything that we offered in the match and everything that we gave. And even at the end, I felt we were still capable, even when they scored, we were capable of nicking a goal to get a draw. But yeah, it wasn't to be.
In addition to the injuries, 9 bookings now for Bruno in the Premier League. Are you braced for the inevitability almost of being without him for 2 games in the near future?
Yeah, it's the last thing we need, to be honest, at this moment in time, is to lose anyone through suspension. But we'll have to cross that bridge when it comes.
Okay. Scott?
There's been a few kind of late goals that conceded, Eddie. I mean, how much of that do you think is a factor of just not being able to change things and not being able to bring players on? And because it's, clearly there's an awful lot of mental and physical demands on this squad at the minute, and it just, is that a factor in the costly late goals that you have conceded?
Yeah, I don't sense a psychological issue from our perspective. I don't sense, like today, I didn't sense a goal coming. Yes, Manchester City were on top in the game, but I felt we defended a lot of really difficult situations very well, and I felt that we were okay psychologically in the game. We sort of knew where we were. We had to defend well. We had to close space well. For the majority of the time, as I said, we'd done that. So the goal felt a little bit like a couple of other games where it's come out of nothing. It's just come from, whether you compliment them or criticise us, it's sort of an individual action that's happened, and we've ended up conceding there. But obviously, we don't want that to continue. That has to stop at some stage. I do think it's linked to our inability to change things from an attacking perspective. Bizarrely, because obviously fresh legs, we've seen it so many times ourselves. This season you bring on an attacking sub and suddenly your team dynamic looks totally different, and obviously that's taken away from us at the moment.
And no Livramento in the squad today, is that injury, illness?
That was illness today.
Thanks, Scott. Aaron, Jordan and Kieran to finish.
And 7 goals conceded from Dubravka in the last 2 league games, but you must be really, really pleased with how he's kept you on the side of the last.
Yeah, he was busy today. I mean, I think he performed very well, made some really good saves for us, looked confident in the goal. I've been really pleased with how he's done since he's come into the team, albeit in a difficult moment for us. I think he's shown his class and his experience, so I'm really pleased for him.
Obviously, break coming up now. Do you think the players really need it, given the obviously hectic schedule? There's a lot of good performances out there, very energetic. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I personally probably wouldn't have a break now. I'd want another game quite quickly to try and get this game out of my system, but I think probably the squad needs it, to be honest. I think we need to try and work as hard as we can to get any players back within the squad that can make a difference.
Jordan.
You mentioned the attacking threat there you carried in the first half. Were you disappointed that you couldn't sustain that in the second half, or do you sort of accept that's down to lack of options on the bench?
I don't think you can accept it. We certainly were disappointed that we couldn't be more of a threat. I think we've had a couple of counter-attack moments where we could have done better. But yeah, we were disappointed to lose our attacking threat. It certainly wasn't our intention to sit deep. It certainly wasn't our intention to let them have the ball. But that's how the game's. That's how it's gone. You have to credit them with how well they keep the ball. And their decision making when they're losing is of the highest level. They don't give you a breather. You have them to constantly concentrate and take up the right defensive positions. But certainly that's stuff for us to look at.
Kieran to finish.
Eddie, can you use the pain of this to, I suppose, power you on when you come back?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. I think you have to use difficult moments to inspire you in any way that you can. I think I'd encourage the players to feel the same way. This is a difficult period for us, but we're still a very, very good team. I have no doubt about the qualities that we possess. But we're in tough conditions, and that's where you have to show your character and remain really resilient. So when things do turn, you can take full advantage of it.
What do you think having more options on the bench will give you whenever that ultimately happens?
Well, I think it's just the ability to bring on players that can execute what you want them to do to their maximum of their ability. And we've got some incredible athletes that are missing at the moment that would have given us another gear or a couple of gears today. And also there's a psychological impact of not having those players available to the players that are playing, which is sometimes underestimated.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.